you guys and hop into the server. I think Dust is AFK for a little bit, so I'll be taking you solo until he returns. And I've left TS open, so I hope he doesn't get up to any strange shenanigans, otherwise we're going to hear it all. This could quickly turn into an 18 rated stream. That being said, let's find out what happens here on Inferno. As XMS going to be charging straight through onto the Archer's side, jumping up, and does connect the shot onto Dead Fox. They're actually going to be going all the way around the back towards the B side of the map, so now Angel, he is boned. He's on an island all by his lonesome. And Happy will wipe away the tears with bullets. Bondic and Stiko last alive. I always screw his name up because I've heard people say Stiko. It doesn't matter because he's landing shots anyway. Regardless of how you pronounce his name, he's still going to be wrecking fools. That nade's going to smart though, as will the headshot by Sixer. And EnVyUs have picked up the first round. Oh, not like this. Not already with the pauses, please. The first best of the three had mega delays, so it's going to be bad enough if I have to cast alone, but if I have to fill an unknown, undisclosed amount of time alone, I'm going to go crazy. So I'm going to put it to you guys in chat. Ask me questions, get interactive. You're effectively my co-casters until Dust is back. So anything you have to say in chat, now is the time. Get over it. Wait, what? Get over what? Where are you from? Northeast of England. Place called Newcastle. What's it like being budget Anders? The same as Anders, just not as good. Small peen gang. Not really a question. I'll accept that though, thank you. EnVyUs will win the next major. Haha forehead. Daddy, have my babies. Again, not really a question. This is live. Who I think is the best player in the world? Cold Zero. It's hard to go against him, really. My voice makes you smile. Well, thank you very much. Newcastle's your favourite football club. Me too. Supported them since I was a kid. Favourite colour? Gotta be purple. Kappa Pride. Would you date Cold Zero if he came onto you? Yes, Kappa Pride. Prove it's live, put a shoe on your head. Well, I mean, there is no camera, so... Doesn't really prove anything, does it, mate? Okay, we're live. Let's do this. CZ's and a Deagle. HellRaisers haven't invested really anything in terms of nades. No kits, just a flashbang. Are you a 12-year-old kid? Yes, can't you tell from my very high-pitched voice that I am actually 12 years old? Don't let the beard fool you and the receding hairline, bro. I'm just the oldest 12-looking-year-old in the world. Oh, this round is many things. Interesting is not one of them. Here come the flashes. And surely aggression will follow. Just watching Zero chill out in the pond, you know, he's just swimming with the fishes, having a good time. Molly's starting to connect. Can Zero land frags? Yes, he can. So we were waiting for a while, and there's the reason. XMS put in his place. 3 MAC-10s and UMP now to play with. I'm a bit scared because I just heard Dust's mic turn on, so I hope he's not going to do anything ridiculous. Happy with 2 MAC-10 kills. And although the first kill did go the way of Zero, it's looking like it's going to end pretty well for EnVyUs. They have lost another player, so this is getting a bit costly. Again, though, it was a heavy investment on SMGs, so they're okay to throw away these weapons anyway. And HellRaisers will save. They get 2 Mach 10s out of it. It's not too bad. And a CZ, all things considered, could be a lot worse. And they can come back into this round's all guns blazing in round 3. The question for me, though, is with this save, I would expect to see Bondic and Stiko throw across their pistols to Angel and Dead Fox, as they have a Deagle and a CZ. So then all 5 players can actually come through with something. Why don't we see UKCS that much? I mean, they have pretty solid game back in CSS. Because, I mean, all the players pretty much hate each other, dude, to be honest. I mean, if you ever played with English people in matchmaking, it's pretty much a fate worse than death. I'm English, and I can say we're all bellends. You know what I'm saying? Like, we actually are. You'll never meet a people that are more arrogant and sure of themselves in the CS than English people. And I say that as an Englishman myself. So let's watch Zero and Fountain again, just chilling. Yeah, it's the truth. Hey, Dust's back. Hello.
How's it going?
I was just saying how all English people are bellends. Would you agree with that analogy? Or assessment, I should say?
I mean, if the sample size is you, then yeah.
That got him.
I don't really know very many English people, but I'd say like maybe 3 or 4 English people. So yeah, 25% at least.
Damn. I'm so offended right now. Are you in the server?
I mean, you kind of asked me to agree with you on that. Yeah, I'm in the server. I'm watching this lane push, this juicy blender that just took place from Bondic. Thankfully, that flashbang comes in for Screamy to be able to take him out, and so they'll be able to get this bomb planted. I don't know why I keep calling him Screamy. He's obviously just Scream, but like you just read it, you know, sometimes. Also, the most legendary sign ever in esports has to be related to Screamy. Did you remember this? Screamy makes me creamy?
Yeah, the creamy thing, yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. I bet Moses really likes that one, actually. 2 memes in 1.
2 kills and 1 for Happy. And our Dead Fox just sat in library, forever alone, just to watch the destruction of the site that he once so bravely fought for. In fact, he doesn't have to watch it. So the saving grace, he doesn't have to watch the explosion. Downside, of course, is he's dead, which kind of sucks. But he is resurrected. That's the cool thing about CS. Every round you get to be Jesus.
What is this casting we've done this round?
Mate, I'm just delirious. I've been up since like memes. 5 in the morning. I've been casting since like 11 or something. It's alright though.
Yeah, we got through it. At least this is the last one. See, you thought you had a whole nother one after this.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
I was about to say, it must have been a pleasant surprise to learn that this is the end of the road. It's also the end of the road for one of these teams. Ooh, these juicy segues the past 2 rounds, dog. They're so good. They're really not, though. Probably cringe.
Scream headshot, Dead Fox. Down and out. It's a pretty rough start for HellRaisers. Finally get themselves some rifles, instantly lose 1. Dead Fox, one of their players to watch out for. Typically repping the AWP. What's your thoughts on Dead Fox? Because I feel like he's a good AWPer, but I think he's too inconsistent to be considered like one of the best AWPers. Do you agree with that?
Probably pretty fair. Certainly can see flashes of brilliance from him at times. Definitely has the mechanics to be quite a good player. And we have Stiko here stepping up pretty big to defend middle. That's the bomb down. It's looking pretty good for EnVyUs up until that point. So he's kind of turned the tides of the round as obviously EnVy has a 3-0 lead. So getting that could be very well what HellRaisers needs to start getting a foothold early on in this half. RPK will come off B. Let's see if they can't fight for it, of course. XMS leading the way. Low HP, though.
Angel with 2. Didn't expect him to get 1 out of that scenario. RPK not able to do anything from his position. So EnVyUs have finally stumbled and faltered. HellRaisers will have to dip in and replenish a couple of weapons. That's going to be a UMP, and I assume the Dead Fox will be following suit. Only 3.2k. Actually, he's going to get dropped across the FAMAS. Actually, M4. I'm straight up blind. You'd think being able to see might be a prerequisite for casting, but apparently not.
Sound. So HellRaisers, thanks to the efforts mostly of Sticko at middle, I think have to be the impact factor that round. They do put one on the board, and so they'll see if they can't keep it going. Envy looking for the reset, looking for a heavy apartments play. They did a couple of these and had some success with them, but now they're actually rolling off more towards Boiler, but Scream will still hold angle here. Sticko not going to give him anything to shoot at, however. They're just kind of holding their spots. They've already rotated Angel over as well, so they're going to have an extra effort over here at A. And they'll be able to keep eyes on brackets as well to keep that information flowing on what exactly EnVyUs is up to.
It's just Zero by himself for the time being, though Angel is starting to make inroads back over onto the B side of the map. Joined by his teammate. Lacking nades, though. XMS goes down to the hands of Dead Fox. Important kill. The way of HellRaisers. PK just on a P250. A couple smokes. Go ahead, Dust. I spoke over you.
No. I'm good. You're good. Take it away.
I actually didn't have anything else to say, to be honest.
You don't have anything?
That was a very poor pass.
Online casting can always be so difficult. Never quite know what your guy's up to. But anyway, we're going to see Envy go for the execute.
10 seconds in which to make this work. Angel, the back of the site, has to pull back into construction. This is buying up enough time. Dead Fox in position, spraying through the smoke. Not going to stop the bomb plant. Now Sixer and Happy have quite a bit of work to do. Sixer misses on the first, actually shoots between the players. And now Happy's going to have to come out clutch for his team, or it's even required. Six is still teeing off with the AWP. Not landing a second, and in the meanwhile, Happy also falls down, and it's going to be the round going the way of HellRaisers and EnVyUs. Although they get the bomb planted, there's 3 players on pretty low funds, and it's not going to be looking too much better after this. Yeah, 3,000 to 2.8k. They have a decision to make.
Yeah, and Inferno has usually been one of the high marks of HellRaisers, actually, when you look at their online results as a team. In fact, this is one of the maps that they beat EnVyUs on to knock them out of qualification for Star Ladder, if I remember correctly. That was like kind of one of the big upsets of that online bracket for HellRaisers to get into Star Ladder. And they actually wound up doing really well once they got there. Also, that was like one of their big results of the year. So definitely Inferno has treated them well so far with this lineup, and particularly in online play. EnVyUs, again, we talked about kind of mixed results, but they did, of course, secure it up against Heroic to find themselves here in contention for a slot at Malmö. So we're going to see them trying to get aggressive in apartments on the low buy, but Sticko again there to shut them down. That's the bomb down as well. Out in no man's land. He doesn't hold it, though. I mean, he takes a lot of damage, so he can't really hold the angle, so they'll be able to get that bomb back no problem.
Yeah, that's the key point. Because he's on 5 health, he can't stick around. He has to back away. Can't risk a random shot landing on him. So the bomb will get retrieved. Trying to establish some kind of apps control are EnVyUs. The bomb's in a pretty forward position, though, in the hands of XMS. He needs to be careful he doesn't get picked off. They could be in a similar situation again. But because HellRaisers have gone for an aggressive banana take, it's allowing 3 players to remain on A. So this, I can't really foresee a way that EnVyUs take this round, barring just blunt force trauma to the head of HellRaisers. And Dead Fox is not going to allow that to happen. He does get traded out almost instantly. That flashbang is on point. And although Sticko was blind for a long time, Bondik's able to somehow get 2 kills in midair. 3-3. And now EnVyUs will be into a bye as a result of their half bye in the previous round.
So little by little, HellRaisers are chipping away EnVyUs. They've won 3 in a row. They're getting back into the game now. They're starting to get their money in a little bit better shape. EnVyUs still able to buy, though, that's for sure. But a loss would lead right to a save. That's where HellRaisers could maybe start building up a decent lead early in this half from the CT side, despite the 0-3 start. As Angel getting very aggressive, trying to catch a timing on that Molotov, trying to beat it. Almost did, but RPK was there to greet him. Luckily, it's 0, though, with the M4. What is this? 3 kills, almost got a 4th. This is a madness round already.
Well, Happy is making inroads over on the A side of the map. And with both Bondik and Sticko opposite sides of the map, if the 2 teams can get together, and they have so much time to do just that, and this is going to quickly get bad for HellRaisers. Happy using the smoke to rummage his way into library and try and get around the back. And Bondik has read the situation. His decision making here is flawless. It's just whether the timing really works out for HellRaisers. It's almost out of their control right now. But speaking of timing, Sixer gets picked off. And I'm sure he just saw the bomb get dropped out as well, Sticko. But Happy, no surprise where he is. He's on the lurk. He's on the flank. There's one. Bondic's in the alcove. Not going to pop out just yet, but it's looking like he may get the drop on Happy yet. It's going to come down to timing. He spots him, but unable to finish the kill off. And Happy will retain 77 of his health. Now that he knows that Bondic's not in a position to stop the plant, he's going to run straight to the bomb, get the bomb planted, and effectively say, come at me, bro. The thing for Bondic, though, is he does have quite a lot of nades and also a kit and 100 health. So, Happy against Bondic. 1v1. A lot to play for, and Bondic's rolled the dice that he's in dark. Not the case. Now deciding new box. Also not the case, but lands the headshot. Wow.
I mean, I thought the round was done and dusted when Zero got that hat trick. Like, I thought that was going to be the exclamation point on the round, and it was going to go to HellRaisers, no problem. But you saw the recovery thanks to some of Happy's efforts, and winds up getting it into a winnable 1v1. But luckily for HellRaisers, they still do close out the round, and so they will make it 4-3. But as that loss bonus approaches max, and with the bomb plant, EnVy actually still able to get a pretty good buy in this round thanks to that.
Yeah, they've got consistent bomb plants even in the rounds that they've lost. You know, last 4 they've got 2. And with the round loss bonus too, it is going to be AK. They can get an AWP as well. If Happy wants to drop one. Well, I mean, of course, famously back in the day, he used to AWP at one stage. Much to the dismay of many people. To put it lightly. So who knows?
Yeah, it's definitely kind of funny because I know Sixer did it a lot in 1.6 from what I understand, even though I didn't really watch too much. It's always what I've been told. And then before he came on to EnVyUs, it was also something he was doing. Was it Millennium that he was playing on before this team? I can't remember exactly. I know it was one of the smaller name French teams. Apparently he was the main opera for those teams as well before coming on to EnVy. And then he kind of just got slotted into like Devil's old position and vis-a-vis Kiyoshima's old positions of being more of like the other peripheral player besides Happy. But now on this team, he's kind of back to his roots, I guess you could say. Mixed results, really. I mean, I guess the focal point of this team, though, really has been people like Scream and XMS and, you know, the old reliable and RPK, who usually plays his role quite well.
Yeah, when you think of EnVyUs right now, you do edge more towards XMS and Scream to perform and provide the fireworks, but RPK's been pretty good lately. I had a couple of nutty plays in the last best of 3.
Yep.
But
and he was certainly got up to pretty good form with G2 last year, that summer run that they had. Obviously, Shocks and Scream was the focal point, but he was reliable, and there he is in this round, leading the charge at the banana with the 2 entries, despite the limited buy. But Bondic, he responds right back. It's a slugfest here in this game thus far. Each of these rounds has been trading back and forth, and now it's in a 3-on-3 mid-round.
they're just exchanging blows between the 2 teams, but
yeah,
again, because it started right at the beginning of the round, with all these kills coming down, there's a lot of time for EnVyUs to try and make the most of these weaknesses. Happy does spot Dead Fox in Arches. Neither player is unable to capitalize on that. Double Molotovs into Pit. It's going to force Sticko to the right side of Pit. No one's checking it for the time being, though. Finally, Scream goes in, but he's going to come out second best. Sixer will return fire. And a bomb will get planted on A. It's not the greatest of plants, though, I've got to say. It's quite isolated there. I think, judging from Happy's position, they may prefer that to have been on default. And HellRaisers do have a smoke, so this could get interesting. Remember that moment where Sixer goes to plant the bomb in that position, because if this comes back to haunt them, that could have been the moment that lost him around. Or maybe he'll just connect headshots and it won't matter. You are on a Molotov, and you just flashed yourself. Not really the most efficient of plays, but it's okay. HellRaisers will concede. EnVyUs will pick up the 4th round.
Yeah, it's one of those plants where I feel like he felt he had to do it to make sure he could plant and not get pushed by mid lane or something, since Happy was in apartments, and in reality someone could have pushed lane and blindsided him. So he plants for cover, and he can still see it from Pit. So while it wasn't ideal, it was probably the best he could do given the information he had in the situation he was in. Winds up not really having a factor in the round regardless, as EnVy do take the round. Now they tie up 4-all, and the reset to HellRaisers will certainly hurt. I mean, they had won 4 rounds in a row, but a lot of those rounds, they had to do a lot of rebuying because they were left down to just like a couple of players. In fact, that last round when they only had 1 left. It was the 1v1 that Bondic won, of course, and so they have very limited to work with in this round.
It's pretty much just the AWP for Dead Fox. The power play. Does connect onto RPK. They're not really in a position to go retrieve his weapon. Unless Dead Fox watches from the back and Angel can take that for himself. There we have it. There's no Kevlar, though. Can't really do much with this. Bondic in the meanwhile on the site is putting down the law, though. And now it's down to Scream. Can he land any headshots? There's the first. And now the bomb under control. Going to be planted in the same position. Dead Fox does connect onto Happy. And this would be a brutal, rough round if EnVyUs were to concede against just ultimately an AWP. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Angel drills him from apps. And Dead Fox with his AWP has done so much work in this round. It's only 2 kills, but both of them were vastly impactful frags. And I think they're going to wait for him to get a second bunch of nades picked up for Angel.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Happy even pushed lane. He could have just went pit and played post plant with the crossfire with his teammate inside the site. Instead, he tries to go peek middle. He gets caught and then gives HellRaisers a 2-on-1 retake. And the bomb was just getting planted, so they had plenty of time to work that 2v1 against him inside there as well. So definitely a little bit questionable. That means HellRaisers just takes the lead right back, resets Envy. Still some money there to buy, though, from the EnVyUs side. Sixer and Happy on plenty of cash. So they could still maybe do some type of pistol force buy here. They could even maybe get some guns behind if they really want to get heavy-handed. Kind of hard to call when the half is this close, and I mean, you could easily sacrifice a round to make sure you get a full buy in the next, and still keep the half really close and still come up with a brilliant T side. So they'll have to weigh their options with this pause.
Yeah, if they don't go in on this round, they'll have a lot to play with in the next one. In the last 6 rounds, 5 of them have gone the way of HellRaisers. So it has definitely been an upturn from the CTs. And EnVyUs, I have answered the question. They are going to go for a buy. So I think it's going to include a couple of AKs. There's still 5.4k on Sixer. So like, surely he picks up an AWP or an AK here. I don't see why he wouldn't. Bruh. Sixer, mate.
Alrighty then.
Why?
I guess just making sure he gets an op later? I mean, I don't know.
But not even nades? Like,
yeah, I don't know.
Bruh, I don't understand that at all.
Again, I think it's just making sure they get an op in the next round. It's all, and maybe he can even drop somebody. I don't know. We'll see. He gets the entry on the stick on, he'll be able to collect an M4, so it doesn't really matter anyway, apparently. He'll still get a gun out of the whole situation. Who are you to judge his madness, Vince?
Yeah. I mean, he had the crystal ball. I was like, don't worry, I'm just going to rush apps and get a kill and take the M4. And get a smoke. Screw you, Vince. What do you know? Dead Fox is going to land the shot onto XMS, though. And now Six is going to use that M4 against the CTs. Bondic falls to his feet. And now Sixer, he's going to get that bomb planted. A 3k in this round. Angel and Zero have the advantage in terms of firepower and health, considering Sixer's position right now. And there's no nades left for EnVyUs. Coming 2 separate angles. Zero decapitates Happy. And now Scream, he's going to go for a peek in the same position he did last time. Maybe this is going to be a bit predictable. He has the deagle. But neither Angel nor Zero are really in a place to contend the bomb for the time being. They're waiting for the T's to peak more than anything else. And of course, there's no reason for Terrace to peek in this situation. Angel was on, and there is the double deeg by Scream. EnVyUs have done it, and HellRaisers brought to their knees once again.
And the resetting back and forth has been pretty crazy. These last 4 rounds, it's gone back and forth. And so we're at 5-all. It's about as back and forth of the game as it really gets, to be honest. I mean, they had that streak going for HellRaisers once the guns came out, but now Envy are fighting right back, and you can see HellRaisers, they're force buying all that they can into this round. But if they lose, Envy takes the lead, and surely is able to extend it another round before HellRaisers can do much about it. This can be where the half really spirals out of control for them if they don't make this force work. We do see EnVyUs just playing out their default here. Nothing really special going on, just getting that apartment's control. Happy's coming up Moto pretty quickly, though, but Zero takes him out. Won't go for the AK. He's got low HP, doesn't know who else is there to stop him from grabbing it, so he has to just retreat. Meanwhile, though, DeadFox not retreating. He pushes down and gets a kill with the AWP. It's a 5-on-3 now.
EnVyUs against the wall. May feel pressured, and they may come out swinging. I almost feel like they have to make a play. Zero's going to get another kill, and XMS nearly greeted by a shank in the backsides. XMS now trying to tap from range. Does see XMS, from XMS perspective, pardon me, does see Sticko in pit. And Angel's about to greet XMS, point blank range. Headshot delivered. All on screen. 1-on-4. 36 seconds in which to utilize. He has the benefit of not being pushed just yet, but there is going to be Angel getting around the back of him from Library. If he's not careful, he's going to get the frag from the side. And Scream turns around just in time to see Angel, but still loses out on the trade. HellRaisers 6-5 in the lead, and you got to tip your hat to Zero there with the CZ. He did huge amounts of work on Archer's side.
Yeah, just wins the 1v1 peek against Happy, and then able to lurk around that smoke and even find an extra frag. So certainly good work. Also, DeadFox, the aggressive push on an off timing with the AWP down banana certainly caught EnVyUs off guard as well. And that's a key round to win. Again, their money was in shambles. They lose that. It would have been Envy rolling off to a pretty nice lead. Now it's HellRaisers who actually get Envy on the back foot, who will force up again, sure. It's just that tit for tat back and forth force buying going on right now because of all the resets, but DeadFox strikes first. RPK out of the equation already. EnVyUs will still try to get control of apartments and work out their default, but they have to do so with less forces, and we already see HellRaisers cheating over an extra rotate, making that A defense more stout. But that bomb's still on T stairs, so they may want to shuffle back to B. In which case, maybe they catch Zero off guard, but of course, Angel still floating back and forth.
Solo shot by DeadFox, plucking XMS out of thin air. Now Angel, who is on the prowl, could have the weakened Scream to contend against. He got flashbanged. His vision no longer impaired. And again, EnVyUs in a similar position to the last round, just much less weaponry at their disposal, clumped together in mid and trying to force a play out of thin air. Got Scream on an AWP, Tech 9 and P250 with Kevlar, but only one flash in which to use them. DeadFox still in the same position, no real reason for him to move from here. I think Six is trying to bait out some information for the rest of his team, but for the time being, I mean, the CTs don't have to budge an inch. They're in good positions. They have crossfires established. They have all the angles covered that they need. And Sticko's going to have them line up. Actually gets neither of those kills, but he's in a position now to strike. Not required. Bondic with his USP will do the rest. A flawless round for HellRaisers, building up their economy nicely.
Yeah, it's really big to come away with that clean. They get the double op set up in play, and their rotations are just so on point right now. Really handling art side efficiently. That's really been the big key the past couple of rounds, is just limiting EnVyUs from really getting any entry work, really, denying them any opportunity to create space. And so HellRaisers are starting to get control of this half now. After a bit of a dicey few rounds there, it was a bit back and forth. Now they have control of things, and they have EnVyUs on even a lesser buy. That's Sticko offing apartments. He'll get the opening kill. He's going to be able to get out of there as well. No trade opportunity for EnVyUs. And they get stalled out. You even see them retreating out of apartments, out the window. They're looking for something fast, but they've been denied.
And originally, HellRaisers did start to push down Banana. It's just going to be Zero that's sat in front of the barrels. The rest of the team, though, is now going to be moving on A. So they've actually over-rotated Angel onto A. And if EnVyUs can push up and get the kill onto Zero, that could afford them a bomb plant. Zero's jumped up.
They spotted him.
Use the smoke. They have definitely spotted him, but do they just rush in hell for leather? They have no nades, and RPK's going to get the kill. And that should be a bomb plant. Now, DeadFox, is he going to be able to get in position to fend off the B players? Nice shot onto XMS, just going to land onto the head. Onto the legs, pardon me. If it was the head, he'd definitely be dead. But one of the players that jumped across had the bomb under his control. And so bomb has gone down. From here on out, though, HellRaisers should just clean up and mop up the straggling terrorists. It's hard to see EnVyUs win from this point when they have no Kevlar. And that's a pretty good way to start things off, though, with RPK connecting a headshot. XMS is holding the back of the site. Happy playing forward with the Glock. How is he getting a kill from that position? Doesn't really matter. Oh, wait a second. Dead Fox, why aren't you on the bomb? This is going to be so close.
Oh, no.
Not like this, HellRaisers.
Wow.
Not like this.
He's right there, too. He easily could have gotten on it.
Why isn't Dead Fox defusing that?
I don't know, miscommunication on who had the kit, who didn't. Maybe Sticko thinks he has enough time, the kit doesn't matter. I mean, you never really know what's going on in all that chaos. I mean, there was so many kills going off on that retake, so many comms going off on just trying to make sure they got all the kills they needed, because obviously Envy was getting kills to really slow them down and force chaos. So when chaos happens, sometimes the comms can get jumbled, and you have to imagine that was just a miscommunication, and that cost them the round. And that means EnVyUs is right back into this half. They were really starting to close the door on EnVyUs, and that lets them right back in.
Really goes to show you how panicky they must be at this stage then, because Dead Fox just stood right next to him. There's about 8 seconds left in the defuse. Dead Fox is next to him, and that cuts off 2 or 3 seconds. And ultimately, that's all they needed to get the defuse in the end. It would have been close, but they would have had it. Angel, in the meanwhile, is with a dispatch of RPK. So again, just brush off the cobwebs and see if you can mentally reset. But that's a horrendous round to lose at a really key moment as well in this half. You're eyeing up a potential 10-5 half, and now it's back out in the open. EnVyUs looking to try and funnel away through mid. Scream's also beside him. Both Dead Fox and Sticko on the short side. Orp rattles out from Dead Fox. He's going to retreat into pit. There's Molly, smokes, flashes, the kitchen sink all landing in his face. And now he has Happy to deal with from behind. And what? Oh. Scream just killed Happy. Okay, then. It's a comedy of errors. We've got Clown School Counter-Strike on, ladies and gents. But...
well, I think that this CT was between Scream and Happy, the one that you see down on the wall right now by the fallen op. So I think that's kind of what happened.
Does fall into a 2-on-2, however. Whichever way you cut it. EnVyUs now are trying to hold on to what they've taken. Angel has a kit. Zero does not. And both go down in a matter of a second. 7-7. And HellRaisers will be broke for this final round. And again, it's going to be playing in the back of their heads. That failed defuse has cost them so dearly.
Yeah, the ripple effects of that are still being felt. That is for sure. Because if they would have been able to lock that one up, it could have very easily been them up, you know, 9-6 or something like that before this half was over, and now all of a sudden they might lose the half 8-7, so certainly an impactful moment there. As you noted, not a whole lot to work with in this round. They do still have, you know, those tricky pistols to deal with, though. At the right positions, they can be quite gruesome to deal with, and these forward positions on apartments, certainly one of those places.
Ooh, that's a tasty wall bang. Nearly outright killing Sticko. Bondik's going to feel the force to vacate. Wielding Scream. Now Sticko in pit with his aforementioned 15 health. Has a pretty tall task ahead of him. And he's going to fail that test. By Happy. Although it was a test stacked against him in fairness. So, do a barrel roll, Zero. Mid-air, breaks his neck on the way down. EnVyUs will take an 8-7 lead half-time.
So a good half from them. Got a little bit worrisome there as HellRaisers were starting to bring it back once the guns came in their hands, but then EnVyUs come up pretty big. Of course, a mistake from HellRaisers was certainly a part of that 3-round streak you saw there at the end, but nonetheless, EnVyUs do have the lead going on to their CT side. Which is definitely the side they felt more comfortable in whenever we were watching them earlier today, so that is certainly good news for them to already have this good of a start going into the defense.
Apologies for that, so just quickly fixing a couple of settings. Not whether we're really missing anything, as the game still hasn't got back underway. So this is the first map of potentially 3. Winner qualifies for DreamHack Malmö. What's your prediction, by the way, Dust? I mean, I feel like it's not stacked to really ask you from this point. 8-7 is as close as it gets from the first map. Who do you reckon out of these two as the favourites to come through?
I mean, I was thinking HellRaisers, like when I first saw, you know, the draw on who was playing and stuff like that. I didn't get a chance to see the maps, though. Like, I know that we're playing Inferno, but I don't even know what the next 2 maps are. I wasn't here whenever all that happened, so... Oh, the next map is Overpass. I think, you know, HellRaisers still have a good chance on Overpass. And the Cobblestone's certainly a map that they've, at times, been quite good on. So, yeah, I don't know. I like HellRaisers. I mean, I think that maybe they're a bit rattled. They didn't qualify for the major. It's obviously a tough one. Especially when you consider some of the other stuff they were doing earlier this year. They feel like they've kind of cooled off a little bit. So, yeah, I don't know. That's who I would have taken, though, if I had to pick.
So you'd have gone for HellRaisers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet. I mean, EnVyUs haven't really shown that much today, but I think EnVyUs are probably second favourites in this one for me as well. Scream, though, just going to see if he can return fire to his fallen comrade of XMS that died straight next to him. Not far off that tap. Angel is playing with fire. And is he about to get burnt? Scream also, meanwhile, though, is out having confrontation all day long. He's lost a bit of chip damage down to 79. Angel very much the same, 70 for him. Bomb still dropped on T steps. I mean, HellRaisers, there are no great rush to push either site for the time being. They're happy enough to just sit here and wait. But at some point, they are going to have to start trying to make the most of that player advantage they have after XMS fell down. Looks like it's going to be an 8 hits, keeping Angel in banana. They still have a smoke and a flash as well, Dust.
Yeah, I mean, this apartment's bait setup with RPK could definitely be dangerous. Happy could definitely get some free kills here if they're focused on RPK too much. See if that trap gets sprung and how it works out.
It's Happy close range, and they've both whiffed everything. EnVyUs will not be getting a kill out of that confrontation, and indeed, they may not get anything out this round at all. Okay, Sixer is going to pick up Angel. But now there's a long trek towards the A side of the map. Sixer has a kit. Scream is still peering towards the CT spawn, hoping that he finds a stray pixel in which he can pop the head off. With how slow they're playing this, I think they're going to save, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's armor worth saving. The kit's also worth saving. That is going to give you a little bit of extra cash to work with, so certainly can understand why. Trying to retake 2v4 is probably not really an option. Scream will look for some exits, but not really a whole lot to play for in this round, so it will be EnVyUs conceding the tie back to HellRaisers. It was one of those things where that apartment setup had to work because the other two players were so far away. They were deep into the B-bomb site in the back. Like, they were never going to be able to rotate to assist. It really had to come down to those frags and just didn't happen. So good on HellRaisers to tie the game right back up.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's a bit of a meme for people to say, you know, saving USPs and stuff, but as you say, there's about $1,900 in terms of equipment value for them to save with the kits, which they've unable to be taken through, but it's more about that Kevlar.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. This is normally a round where you would do a Kevlar upgraded pistol buy, and now you don't have to buy the armor portion. So, I mean, that does save you money in the long run, especially in a round where you have no chance of winning a 2-on-4 retake, probably.
And especially for a player like Sixer who wants to get the AWP as soon as possible. Means he doesn't have to dig in and get anything else. So, Scream round the corner is going to get one. Seemingly catching Dead Fox with his pants down. Angel is going to chime in for the kill anyway. 148, all things considered. Of course, HellRaisers is still in a commanding position. Still a HE for Happy. Let's see if that gets used later on to any kind of effect.
Ooh. RPK trying to get a little bit aggressive, but Zero in the perfect position to catch that. So it will have no impact on the round, and that just adds to HellRaisers' advantage now as they have the 4-on-3. No one left has armor. So they should be able to mop the rest of this one up.
Just XMS for P250. Chilling on the fountain. And he is almost guaranteed to see action in the next few moments. 4 players starting to stack up against him. There's a lot of nades as well. Expect to see a carpet of fire put down onto the site alongside smokes. Here we have it. Molly's landing. It's not going to deter XMS for the time being. P250 is going to get nothing done. It's a position that a lot of teams will check, especially if they've managed to cordon off areas with the Molotovs. But Sixer and Happy, P250s in hand, and a HE. Again, maybe safe territory. I mean, if they can get exit frags, then all the better for it. But realistically, what's the chance of 2v4 retaking here? Pretty much 0.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about how cheap a P250 is and the damage that it can do, I mean, it's certainly worth holding on to, because you're going to do a full save next round anyway. So at least adding a couple of P250s to the mix and that 1 HE grenade maybe gives you something to do. Maybe you do some type of gamble, nade stack play, push down with the P250s, try to see if you can't make something happen. But yeah, certainly the 2v4 isn't going to happen without a kit. So again, it's just about carrying over what little you can. Still gives you something to work with the next round as opposed to running up against a brick wall in this round.
Yeah, plus of course saving any possibility of HellRaisers just getting more farm from those UMPs. It's always going to be a bonus, always going to be a positive. Dead Fox, 3.6k, going to get dropped across a UMP. And very similar to Sixer, he of course wants that AWP as soon as he possibly can. But he has actually dug in with a kit and a bunch of nades, so he's not going to have that for the time being. Down to $1,600. Only happy on A by himself. 4-player stack sees EnVyUs on A. And RPK may be looking for some bait here to try and get himself out. Maybe chased down by a straggling terrorist and to capitalize on that.
You definitely see XMS is looking to do some type of pop flash setup from the back. Once the fire dissipates, they are going to go ahead and press through and look for the frag. Angel is definitely full blind, and he's going to get taken down. Sticko going to respawn, but only for one, and so this is not looking too shabby.
Dead Fox also goes out peeking and dice. There's a plethora of weapons that have now fallen in Banana. The round could still very easily go the way of HellRaisers, but Happy's playing behind the hay bales. He's going to get one, not a second. Bondik is going to try his best to salvage this round, but even if Bondik wins from this point, that's 4 deaths to make that a 5th. Up against pistols, EnVyUs have just cracked HellRaisers. They got the bomb plant, they'll be able to come back with another buy, but I mean, that should just never be happening.
It does illustrate how useful a couple of P250s being saved can be, though. You saw them get put to use there in a big way. A team ace from EnVyUs on that top banana control. Just a good little pop flash set up there. I mean, the timing of those flashes were really good, to be fair. Like, Angel got caught by one, Sticko traits back, and then another flash comes over and gets him as he's trying to fall back. I mean, that was just good utility usage there from EnVyUs. But yeah, certainly HellRaisers, when you're around like that, you expect to win it. You've already done the hard part by, like, winning out the force buy in the second round, and then you lose to that. That's definitely tough to deal with.
Also, why they saved the P250s.
Yep.
And now EnVyUs go from very low funds. Of course, they're going to have a buy anyway, but that's bolstered their buy significantly, taking some of those weapons away from HellRaisers. Full nades, kits, an AWP. Up against full AKs. Still anybody's map, but HellRaisers can't afford to let rounds like that slip anymore. They've done it too often on both sides.
Angel already taking a lot of damage here at top. Banana is forced to play behind the wall. The rest of his team, though, does have apartments control. They're starting to get brackets as well, so they have space to work with now as EnVyUs content to sit back and play more passively and just make sure that they don't wrap Moto or lane. But that makes it harder for you to rotate because you don't know what's going on middle, so that certainly can play in the HellRaisers' favor, despite the fact they've taken a lot of damage on one of their players.
Hero's going to be running on his own, and he will die alone. Sixer dispatches of him. XMS is up on the boost. It's not a position that EnVyUs have used yet, and it's quite a gimmicky spot that you expect most teams at this level to check.
Yeah.
Scream is going to join him now. And if they can get a crossfire down and try and make a chaos play come to fruition, in the panic, they may not check this position, especially considering there's only 22 seconds left. If they get lazy and don't check this, XMS will punish them. And he's dropped down. They line up for him. He very easily gets 3 kills, but so much damage has been inflicted to HellRaisers. So only 30 health remains between the two of them. And Sticko's going to fall alongside his partner of Angel. EnVyUs take the lead, only losing XMS in the process.
Yeah, it was really good on EnVyUs to pop flash check middle, again, because they were trying to cheat a 4th player over to A, and they were so passive on the site. They didn't really know what was going on middle. They needed to flash for information to kind of hold that formation confidently, and they get the kill, and that allows Scream the freedom to go ahead and go back to B because you already have your man advantage. So, you know, really well thought out there by EnVyUs and how they peaked that, how they played it out. Great rotation from Screen. Great work from XMS on the boost, making the most of that position, really. I mean, like you said, almost got 3 kills there, but definitely the 2. That means HellRaisers are on a full save, and so EnVyUs can extend that lead, as they are going to wrap Moto really quickly, but there is a player in CT spawn watching the archway, so they at least know this is happening.
Dead Fox is going to be put in his place from RPK, and it is a battering round. HellRaisers take multiple punches. They have been KO'd. We have to get back up in the next round, and it will include a full buy. Not full grenades. Probably lacking on an AWP as well. They can't afford one. But at least it's going to be AKs and something to really play off against EnVyUs with. But this is EnVyUs' chance now to stop, to shift through the gears, and to put a solid lead in play and try and pick up this first map. Let's see if they can pull it off. I think Dust just had to leave for a second. So I'll take it solo until he's back. Angel has gone down. 2-player stack on A. We'll see both RPK and Happy running together once more. RPK goes for the wallbang. No one home in apps for the time being, although Bondic wasn't far away. Once again, HellRaisers trying to play an interference on B. We'll be 2 players strong, both Sticko and Zero. The thing that worries me about this sort of play is if they do go out onto B and get picked off one by one, there's not really enough cavalry to follow it up, so effectively it is a 2-on-2 on B. And then a 2-on-3 on A, so HellRaisers are outmanned. I'd like to see them congregate together and look to try and push through as a united force, which seems to be what's happening now. They also have 4 smokes left and 2 Molotovs. 1 smoke's just been used on the CT side. So if they do go for a carpet of fire on B, they can maybe cordon off one area and look to push. Go for the pre-fires around corners and whatnot, but Zero is trying his hand elsewhere on A. They're going to move out without flashes. That is an error. Bondic still has a molly, a flash, and a smoke. Needs to throw that out into the open. It's just 3 kills for Scream. And he's not a player that you want to try in terms of aim. He will batter you. He's still alive somehow. 10 seconds left. And now they're starting to throw in the utility. XMS goes down in the smoke. Is there enough time to plant? Just about. And Scream can't afford to contest this as he's so low on health. So maybe, just maybe, HellRaisers have squirmed their way into a chance. The Sixer is taking that away. The chance is now fleeting. It's almost a distant memory. Bondic surrounded by players. It's a solid flick to the head of Happy, but just too many around him. 12-9. HellRaisers with the bomb plant. Could very well go back in for another buy. As you can see, Bondic 4.6k. Everyone else mid to high 3,000s. For me, this probably has more of a half-buy feel to it. Tech 9 armors, maybe a couple of deagles. It would be a risk and a gamble if HellRaisers went all in. They know that EnVyUs have huge economy. Typically, if you're going to force buy in this kind of a scenario, it's because you know that the enemy is weakened. They're vulnerable, they're ripe for the taking. And you can really crush them if you win that round. But when you know that EnVyUs are so stacked on cash and multiple players, the risk's just not really worth it anymore. Depends, I guess, on whether HellRaisers feel the pressure to start getting rounds now or if they can afford to wait an extra round. Let's look at the scoreboard for you guys. So nothing really standing out. I mean, XMS is on 6 and 18, and he's typically one of the guys on EnVyUs that you're expecting to frag out pretty well, but to be fair, everybody else is pulling the weight, so he's not necessarily been required. And those of you asking in chat as to what the maps are, obviously Inferno first, Overpass second, and Cobblestone will be our decider if we need it. And what's up for grabs today? If they win this best of 3, they will qualify for DreamHack Malmö, which of course is a Masters event. Only the 3rd that DreamHack have done. The 2nd of Malmö, and they also had one in January. Or was it February? I'm not even sure at this stage. I think it was January in Las Vegas. So, what's the call, HellRaisers? Do you go all in? Do you go for a half buy? Suggesting with Bondic it will be a half buy instead, which I personally agree with more. I like that. And how are you guys doing in chat? We all good? If there's anyone that's been here from the very start, you have my respect. We have been going on for quite a while now. I think we're up to like 8 hours or so. So you have my respect, bros. This pause is taking quite a while, but it looks like we're about to get back into the fray. So half buy is the call. They have 4 rounds of loss bonus, so it's fine that they're dipping down to like 1,700. I mean, typically with the terrorists, if you're in a position where you've just lost a round, you want to go no lower than $2,000. With 4 rounds of loss bonus, they're okay to dip into 1,700. There's no big issue. They'll have a full buy next round anyway. Alrighty, here we go. Can HellRaisers come back with a lackluster buy? Dead Fox, of course, skimping out on Kevlar so we can get a better buy with his AWP. He came from 6's choke, so you've been here for quite a while then. That was fairly early on. Angel, in the meanwhile, going to get flashed out. CZ in hands, able to connect onto XMS, who did get a kill before falling. So his job was partially done. Out comes Scream, and he's landing headshots left, right, and center, but he's going to go down to the hands of Zero. Is that going to open the floodgates to B, I wonder? Not quite, because Sixer is here. However, close range AWPing is always up to the CS gods. Happy. Comes through, gets headshot, not like this. Sixer is now the only player left standing, with both players very low. Unbeknownst to him, he could be rocking out with the sidearm and be just fine. And HellRaisers have done it. Pistols, all they needed. 3 kills for Sticko. And they bring it back to a 2-round deficit. Now, this is where EnVyUs are going to have to chunk through their savings. 12k on Scream is going to go down to 7k. Sixer, if he goes for an AWP, is going to be very low on funds after this buy if he goes for full nade. 650 in total. So between Happy on 150, Sixer on 250, and XMS 1050, this could be HellRaisers' ticket back into this map. Yeah, I try my best when I'm solo casting to keep up with chat, because you guys are ultimately, I view you as my co-casters. Try and bounce off you as much as I can. Not literally, because that would probably kill you. Angel spraying up through Banana. No one saw him just yet, but our PK is going to land ahead of Bond. They can Happy, goes on to 0. At these kind of times, HellRaisers have got... They've just simply got to get momentum. It's not good enough to win a round, then lose out. You can see here they went 4 rounds without winning one. Their round loss has been reset. Now, the good news is because they won in a pistol round, they've got a couple players who are actually pretty solid in terms of funds, but Dead Fox and 04000, Sticko's 2.6k. So it really did boost them. But the problem is that EnVyUs now, they are getting closer and closer towards that 16-round mark. Aggressive down Banana, this affords them to play more static on the A side of the map. They know there's no chance in a fast B play happening anytime soon. RPK headshot onto Angel, 20 seconds now. HellRaisers have got to get on the site. They're going to get flanked from XMS, who goes down, but that really is only half the problem. There's a Molotov in their eyes. They can't get onto the site, and when they do, Sixer's waiting for them alongside RPK. And HellRaisers have capitulated. And whereas it's 5 for Dead Fox, 0 and Sticko to all have money, Angel and Bondic don't have too much to play with themselves. So again, do they go for the buy? Do they skimp? It's going to be the buy. They could have waited till 14:10 and then gone for a full buy then. Some teams will do that, but maybe deciding that 2 cracks at the whip's better than 1. And to be fair, they did last beat EnVyUs in effectively pistols. Up through arches, Bondic's going to be taking point for his team. There's 1 kill, and Cyril's got a second one. Are we going to see Lightning strike twice? XMS has been spotted. He will not be fragged. Angel picks up the P250, shoves it in the face of RPK. It takes him out the equation. Now XMS is really stuck in a pretty rough position on Speedway. He's not sure where to look, and HellRaisers have done it.
Wow.
What the hell is going on, Dust? Did you see that round?
Yeah, that was really crazy fast arch play. I mean, they did really well to hold people worried about CT spawn long enough to allow the other two players to slip into B and actually get the bomb planted, so... Pretty crafty little split, especially considering how much weight was on that round. As you noted, if they would have lost that, then it likely would have been EnVyUs waltzing into a map point situation. But as it stands, HellRaisers have a great chance to tie up the game. When you have EnVyUs now onto a very low buy, just the P250s, couple of Deagles, that one rifle on Scream, and Sixer and Happy don't even have armor behind their pistols, so this could get real dicey, real fast.
Well, definitely, man. It's one of those kind of scenarios where EnVyUs, although they're a 13-11 in the lead, they're on the brink of just completely bowing out of this map. And to make matters worse, their one power play, a Scream, has died first, and pretty much done 0 damage to anybody. So a pretty horrendous start to the start of this round.
Can't even get that AK back to recycle it. XMS is never going to be able to cross. Like, Angel has his aim trained on that position, but... Now he'll begin to back up and gather at middle. So XMS can maybe grab it and flank through mid. So it could still get put to use. We'll see.
Nade on to short. Sticko is going to make sure no one's in the alcove. Molly is also going to stop Sixer for pushing for time being, switching out to the smoke. Oh, Sixer landed the shot on Sticko. He wasn't even aiming for him. That's where the RNG works in your favor. Get completely wrecked. And now Zero has to try and pick up this clutch in a 1-on-3. He's going to get 2. Is this going to be a mad round again? No. XMS stops those clutch shenanigans. But Six's double P250 is absolutely ridiculous. I hope someone's clipped that because I want to rewatch that. Unreal.
What in the world was that? I mean, everything was stacked against EnVyUs at that point. Looked so good for HellRaisers, and then that double peek on middle somehow comes through. And so EnVyUs... They get one over. HellRaisers in a 4-spot to survive scenario. They'll have this buy, and the next round will be even worse than this if they don't make this one work. And EnVyUs can still take this map now off of a miracle, basically. As you noted, the double P250 frags just out of nowhere, like an RKO.
I mean, that was a drop kick to the balls, let's be honest. HellRaisers are starting to climb their way back in as Sixer P250 get railed.
Yeah. Hones in his inner Randy Orton. And so now all of a sudden EnVyUs might have a chance to just go ahead and take this one here soon. Apartments control taken by HellRaisers. They still have presence top banana as well, so they have options open to them, but they are playing from behind with firepower.
Now HellRaisers, the last 2 times they've won rounds has been in bargain bucket buys. It's actually the best buy they've had in a while, strangely enough, after losing a round. So are they going to be able to convert again? The thing is, though, it's because they played hyper-aggressive with just pistols. They haven't tried to play slow. They've just got right up in the face of EnVyUs. And they've got the trades where it counts. So maybe that ruthless aggression, no fear tactic is the way to go. But peeking out 1 by 1 against Sixer, he is going to dispatch of you. You're not going to get that trade going in your way. Happy in pit. Knowing there's only 30 seconds left in which to hold down this position. And the flashes are destroying HellRaisers. Sticko's Tech 9 is going to come good for 1. Not a second.
Oh, that smoke.
Still gets the kill, but it doesn't matter. EnVyUs now have 4 map points. Just map points for those of you asking. It's a best of 3. And this is just the first map. So HellRaisers, they're not dead and buried just yet, but this would be a great start for EnVyUs.
My goodness, man. There's been so many crazy things happen to HellRaisers. Some of it was self-inflicted, that whole situation with the defusal. But that P250 round was just unreal. Like, HellRaisers, you gotta think that they've just been, like, really unfortunate this game. I mean, yeah, sure, EnVyUs done what they've had to do to roll out in front, but certainly there's been some shenanigans involved. And this could be the last round of Inferno. Not much to work with for HellRaisers, even less than the previous round. Already just gathering up, looking to do something faster pace, it seems. You see several lining up smokes over here at middle.
Yeah, no, as bad as it looks, these are the rounds that HellRaisers have been picking up on their T side. It's just got to have that no fear mentality. Push out as United Force, not one by one. Don't allow sixer. And these very powerful aimers to get behind you like XMS is. On the blink of an eye, the round's over. It's a full house of kills. 2 for XMS, 3 for Happy. 16-11. EnVyUs have picked up map number 1.
There you have it. I mean, there was certainly a couple of mishaps from HellRaisers which certainly hurt them, particularly in the first half. But in general, just, you know, a very tight race in the first half. And they were starting to chip away at EnVy again here in the second half, but just not quite enough. A couple of key rounds went EnVyUs' way there towards the end. Really just got their economy in shambles, and they couldn't really recover from it. So there's EnVy one step closer to attending DreamHack Malmö as one of the European teams to qualify alongside all of the invites. But of course, we still do have at least one more map to go, and perhaps 2 more to go if HellRaisers can show up here on Overpass.
Yeah, I mean, keeping in consideration that EnVyUs did pick Inferno, and now we're moving to Overpass, which is HellRaisers' choice. And Angel in particular is a player to watch for me. He is so good on the T side. Typically plays up B, so I want to see what he has in store.
Also, just a quick update. Mousesports is up 1 map on flip side for the other side of the bracket for the other slot to Malmö, and they're also up 10-8 in the second map. So they made 2-0 that series and secure that qualifier slot for themselves over on the Mousesports side. But flip side, maybe they could still force the third. We'll have to see. That game is still going on. You could definitely go check it out if you'd like to. But yeah, I guess we'll be right back with the conclusion of this series.